What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Day Trade with Zay. I'm your host and your trader, Isaac, and I want to go ahead and get into a trade recap and breakdown of the trades that I took today. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of these trades. Still profitable, but on the wrong side of them. Took the completely wrong trades. So I just want to go ahead and give an explanation of it because I did learn a lot from it myself. So here we go. Today is Tuesday, January 4th. I am a scalper. I trade indices. The NASDAQ and Dow Jones are the only two pairs that I do trade. So tune in if you guys are interested in that. And let me just go ahead and give you some insight on this trade. So yesterday I was able to catch a beautiful trade. If you were able to join me on the live stream, which I know you didn't because just my boy Johnny was on there. But we were able to catch a nice trade, 154 pips to the downside. And we seen, clear break of structure to the downside, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We just seen that it was coming down. And I drew out this trend line before the trade day had started. And I thought that there was a chance it could make it up there, but I didn't think it quite would. I thought it would stop down here or somewhere around this level here. And I took a 40 pip stop loss, and then or it stopped me out basically, and then I hopped in the trade up here at this level once I seen the rejection and was able to write it down to the downside. So I was completely bearish all the way, right? And then I seen what I thought was a break of structure to the upside. So if you could see, this is what I seen when the day started. It was basically what I seen was it broke these lower lows and lower highs, which now that I look at them on the higher time frames, maybe this is why they weren't considered lower lows and lower highs or even, to that level, because they're just wicks. And either way, it broke even what was this lower high right here. And it also broke the trend line. So my thought process with this is that it's a break of structure to the upside. Now let me go ahead and look for some buys. And I had a 15-minute ILC. You could even see there's a 30-minute ILC right here. But I had the 15-minute ILC labeled out. I would have had my stop loss just below these wicks right here. And my thought process was completely bullish. And even though I seen the rejection here and I knew that price was most likely going to push down to the downside here, I didn't want to put the sell in just because one of my rules is to never trade against the trend. So if we're in a bull market, never put a sell in. If we're in and I mean, I'm a scalper, so this comes to this point on the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, we see quick break of structures. So basically, I didn't want to break my rule. So I said, I'm not going to take this sell to the downside. I'm going to wait and wait for my buy. So let me go ahead and show you guys what happened. Seeing that price was going to come down, and I seen all the confirmations to take this out right here, but I didn't. And I hopped into the trade. Actually, let me reverse this a little bit. That went a little too quick. Let me replay this to this level. Let's go to the 1 minute because I always have the 1 minute on. It's not the best. Most people don't like the 1 minute because it goes crazy on them, but the 1 minute saved me today. So let me just go ahead and show you what happened. Price came down as I was hoping for and expected it to. And as soon as it tapped that level, I had a buy limit in there and I took the trade. So I seen this happening right here. And one thing I didn't like was that I wasn't getting enough push. Yeah, we're seeing rejections. We're seeing respect here, but we're not seeing any push up. And this is already what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes of sitting at this level, which you don't want to see. After 3, 4 minutes, you want this thing to get up out of there. And it started turning me oury. So I seen this push up, and I said I'm gonna move my stops to break even, right? I'm gonna move these to break even just in case. And as you could see here, I got one of my positions to break even, the other one I didn't, and I took a 7 pip stop loss. I closed my trade at 7 pips, something like that. So somewhere around this area, I just closed my trade and I lost about $40. And yeah, So I was real confident and bullish, but then as soon as I seen all this, I was like, man, maybe it is coming down. And fortunately, I did, because the trade eventually, or I mean, the NASDAQ completely took a shit and broke down. You know what I mean? And it happened faster than, a lot of shit you see. Usually it doesn't happen that quick. And, selfishly, I thought it was going to push up to the upside. US 30 had broken all-time highs. We weren't too far from the all-time high here on the NASDAQ. So I was thinking it was definitely possible, break a structure to make a push up to the upside. But we lost the trade. Took another bullshit trade right here against the trend, which I don't recommend. I was just trying to get in something. I thought it would retrace all the way back up here. But this is what actually made me profitable for the day. I caught a little, just off of these rejection candles, I caught a little trade to the upside. Pulled half my position at 50 pips. The other half was eventually stopped out as price continued down. But just to go ahead and explain what we had on the confirmations to take the sell to the downside, well, they were huge. Here on the 15-minute chart, you could just see I had a golden zone ILC set up right here. This is the reason I took this sell right here, right? Rejected down to the downside. Third time's the charm. It's always a charm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So just remember the magic of 3. It is a real thing. And so we had the rejection at this key level that had been rejected 2 times before. Not only that, it's a lot clearer right here on the 15 and 30-minute chart. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, the head and shoulders pattern. And on the 5-minute, like I said, it was clear for me to take the sell. I just didn't want to go against what I thought was the new trend, which was to the upside. But one thing I want to see is a rejection at this level, right? But also, if I miss entry right here, where could I get back in? Well, if I have a supply and demand area, I call it my resistance to support. Resistance, resistance, support, a little bit of support, resistance, resistance, a little bit of support. All this right here is a resistance to support area. With that being said, is price respecting this area? Not only that, I use the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA a lot, and I think they're very useful. Probably with all currencies and pairs, but especially with the NASDAQ and US 30. When we have these, we first had the 20 EMA crossover, which is what we want to see for, a quick move to the downside. Not only that, we had price break through the 50 EMA, come back to it, respect it multiple times. So this should tell us right here, we see these rejections right here, jump into this trade, take this trade to the downside. That's what it should tell you. And but I just didn't want to take it. And if we would have taken it, this trade would have looked something like this. We would have hopped in, probably here. I seen it up here, I seen it down here. But if it would have been something like this, I probably would have been tight too, maybe like here. I don't want to see it break up into here again, because then it's going to go with my original bias, right? So we would have taken it down. And the reason I didn't take it, I think it was more. It was like, I think it was something like this. Maybe I did come up to here. I don't like to take any trades that are 1 to 2 risk reward. It has to be a minimum 1 to 3 risk reward, right? And that's the other reason I didn't take the trade. Even, as I was thinking, nah, it's not worth it to come down here. Even though this trade, if you would have been probably a more seasoned trader than myself, I've only been doing this about 16 months now. You probably would have caught this down maybe to this level, to the 27%, 318 pips. Amazing trade, 1 to 6 ratio. And you had all the confirmations for it. Everything was there. And it's just something that I missed. But it is a learning experience. And that's something I could tell you guys, being in this game for 16 months, is that I learned something new every single day. Every time I complete my trade journal, I learned something new. I seen something new. So I would hope that you guys would actually do that too, man. A trade journal is key. However you do it. I do mine a little technical, but that's what works for me. I'm a visual person. But this is the trade that I missed today, unfortunately. But the great thing about the market is there's always tomorrow. So we're still profitable on the week. This trade from yesterday helped. This little bullshit trade that I shouldn't have put in, advise you to never go against the trend, got us into some profit today. So we'll take it. Any day where you're not losing is a good day, in the markets. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any disagreements, questions, likes, please comment, and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to be putting out content every single day. You could join me on my live stream every single day, Monday through Friday, 6:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. I'll be trading live. You can see me lose, win, or draw, and I hope you guys are able to take some from it. My name's Isaiah. Welcome to Day Trade with Zay, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.